Do you hear that sound? That's the sound of anticipation. It's your one last moment to catch your breath before you race for glory. You still want to become champion? Well, keep your head cool for me. Your rivals aren't holding back now. It's time to chase for the cup. We continue the chase for the NASCAR Mistcraft Cup Series, the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, way out west in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's going to be a fantastic one here today, putting these guys on the line, getting ready to gamble for some points, for some wins here today at this 1.5 mile speedway. All right, we got 8 drivers still looking to make their way into the final 4 of the championship running, and right now we got 4 of them in by a slim margin. It's Reddick, Truex, Chastain, and Chase Elliott, all above Logano, Byron, Berry, and Busch. And there are your standings from the Mistcraft Racing Complex from the first race of the chase this season. And we've got 2 more races, including today, and then at the South Main Speedway, which was originally the Southside Speedway. So another name change for that track, but we'll get into that later on. And let's go ahead and take a look at some of the drivers to look out for this race here today in Las Vegas. First up is Tyler Reddick, your most recent winner. Got it done at the road course 1 race ago, and we'll see if he can continue that streak here today of solid finishes this season. And then there's Josh Berry, who comes into this race 5 points below the cut line, who failed pre-race inspection, will be starting at the tail end of this 32-car field here in Las Vegas. And starting on pole here today is the number 5 of Kyle Larson. He has not had a very good run of the Mistcraft Cup Series for the last couple of seasons. His last win was back in season number 7 of Martinsville. Will he be able to get it done here today? We'll have to wait and see. And then there's Christopher Bell. He's still looking for his first Mistcraft Cup Series win. He starts 5th after just barely missing out on the Mistcraft Cup Series chase by a single point. And we'll see if he can at least get himself a win before the end of the season. Take a look at your full starting lineup for today's race. On the last row, you're going to have Josh Berry with that pre-race infraction, then Ryan Preece, his teammate, and Daniel Suarez and Todd Gill in row 15, then Michael McDowell and Harrison Burton ahead of them. Row 13 has J.J. Yaley and Noah Gregson. Rolling off from row 12 is going to be Carson Hocevar and Ricky Sticky Stenhouse. Ahead of them is Austin Dillon and Austin Cindric. Now in your top 20 is going to be the THR duo of Tyler McDonald and Blake Garcia. Row 9 has Brian Keselowski and Chase Briscoe, and then you're going to have Chris Buescher and Eric Jones. And it's Ty Gibbs and Alex Bowman. They're going to have Ryan Blaney and Denny Hamlin in row 6. And here's your top 10. It's Kyle Busch starting in the 10th position in the number 8 machine. He's coming in at the bottom of the championship running here. And you see Chastain and Truex, and now Chase Elliott in 7th position there for Hendrick Motorsports. Then Tyler Reddick, your most recent winner, starts 6th. Ahead of him is Christopher Bell in the number 20 machine, and then starting 4th is William Byron for Hendrick Motorsports, and then you have Bubba Wallace for 2311, and your front row for today's event is Joey Logano with Team Penske and Kyle Larson with Hendrick. All right, a good mix of cars in the chase and out of the chase for the top 10 runners there. But here's a look at the track info here today. It's a 1.5 mile tri-oval with 20-degree bank turns with a seating of 123,000 fans. They're going to be able to see a fantastic race here today as the engines are fired up and we're rolling off here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It's time to get racing here once again in this season. If you head on down to Circuit Diecast, use the code NMCS Race, you can get discounted shipping on hats, t-shirts, diecasts, and more. All right, it's going to be a 12-lap race here today. It's the first Vegas race in about 4 seasons here in the Mistcraft Cup Series, and it's sure to be a good one. And we're about to get on the loud pedal for the first of 12 laps here today in Las Vegas. Let's go gambling, let's go racing. A green flag is in the air for Kyle Larson. Down to turn 1, Christopher Bell takes him 3 wide already, and there goes Bubba Wallace falling through the gut, and down the back straightaway it's Joey Logano to second. And we're making of turn number 3, Byron to the inside of Logano to 3 wide for 4th, and there goes Byron sliding off the front end of Joey Logano. He keeps that race car straight, and now back to turn 1, Logano looks to the inside of Larson, who led lap 1. Down the back, now the top 4, single file. Here's Byron getting side drafted through the middle, 3 wide between the Busch and Reddick machines, and they're spinning on the backstretch. And there goes Keselowski alongside the 14 of Chase Briscoe. A big spin there for both of them. So bring out our first caution here early on lap number 2 here in Las Vegas. Let's see what happened. See Briscoe on the inside. He just slides up into Brad Keselowski. Maybe he got into those bumps on the bottom of turns 1 and 2 and just upset that race car and slid him up into the 6 machine. Doesn't really look like either of those drivers got too much damage or really any at all. Honestly, maybe just some flat-spotted tires trying to keep those cars from hitting everything that they could. And yeah, you see here both of them on the pit lane getting some service done to the race cars. They will be able to continue here today in Las Vegas as we head to the choose cone for the first time. Early on in this one, Larson goes to the inside, Logano to the outside. It's exactly as the race began for those two, but everyone behind them will be trying to make up some spots here. We're going to get up on the loud pedal once again here today. Just a third of the way through this race here in Las Vegas. Once again, it's Larson and Logano. Green flag is back in the air. They lead us back down to turn number 1. A lot more calm up front now that we're never mind that. They're 4 wide back behind these guys as Reddick rim rides on the top side, and he'll shoot up to 3rd position. Down into turn number 3, Byron trying to take them 3 wide to the inside there. Not really going to get a lot of momentum going there. Is up front. Here's Bell looking to put some challenge to the 5 of Kyle Larson to the back straightaway. Chastain making some noise back behind these guys is back up front. Here comes Bell on the left quarter panel of the 5 car down to the start finish line. There goes Bell sliding with the racetrack contact from Larson, and he slides back to 2nd. He keeps his car straight. Larson is not afraid to use that bumper here today, but man, he really doesn't want to have to use that thing on Christopher Bell. They've had problems all season long. As they work the way across the start-finish line once again, Bell this time goes to the outside of Kyle Larson there. He's going to take the lead away in turn 1 as there goes Joey Logano bouncing through the infield grass on the front straightaway. And we stay green as the 22 gets a new job of cutting some grass in the front stretch here. See that car bouncing over the quarter mile there. We got trouble. There goes Chris Buescher sliding into the outside wall, and he's going to slam hard on the left side door of that race car. And the caution comes out, and it looks like Alex Bowman's involved as well. We're going to call the red flag here. The cars are going to stop on the backstretch here. Let's take a look at what happened to Chris Buescher. Man, that car just slid for some reason to the left heading into turn number 3. On the inside of Kyle Busch here, looks like, oh wow, looks like the tire came off of the 17 machine and just spun that car around. It picked up some air there for a moment as it hit the transition right there. Yeah, look at that. Wow. It looks like Bowman was just trying to avoid it, just kind of locked up the rear tires there and spun out. No damage to his car. As you can see, this is what happened to Joey Logano as he started cutting some grass on the front stretch infield here. He slid up in front of William Byron and basically reversed what happened there on lap number 1 of the race, where Byron got hit by Logano. So repaying some favors there. Once again, with those chase guys, you don't want to be making some enemies here. As we work our way to the final couple races of the season, we see Bell and Larson. Neither of them made it to the chase because they kept playing with each other's throats there earlier on in the regular season. All right, we go back to the choose cone here. Bell is the leader. He will take the inside for the restart here. That's worked out pretty well for him so far this race. We'll see if it works out for him here again. All right, with 3 laps to go here in Las Vegas. Who will come out on top here in this one? Green flag back in the air. Chastain takes them 3 wide for the point down to turn 1. Larson slides back a bit, but gets the momentum off of turn number 2. He'll clear once again with the lead as they're side by side for 3rd. Here comes Bell for the inside run on Kyle Larson, but he can't make that stick. As now there's 2 laps to go, we now start the penultimate lap of this race. Top 4, 5, 6 car single file as Chastain now going to try to retake 3rd position away from Tyler Reddick. Down the back straightaway, Bell hounding Larson down to turn 3, side by side for the lead as they work their way out 4. White flags in the air, contact coming to the start-finish line, and Bell takes the lead. Car length lead for Bell, back to turn 1 for the final time. Larson goes high, Bell blocks. He's going to cross him over to the inside there, door to door for the lead to the back straightaway for the final time. They work their way down into turn 3. Now Larson sends it in. He slides up into Bell, and they're both on the wall. And through the smoke comes Ross Chastain, and he's going to win his first Miscraft Cup Series race at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. What a mesmerizing finish here in Vegas. The leaders took each other out, and once again, it's Bell versus Larson. And here's the restart. They were 3 wide going to turn 1, but it couldn't quite stick for the one at Chastain. There was contact off 4 coming to the white flag, and Larson sends it in, crosses over the white line, and slides up the track, and gets up into Bell, and both of them taken out, and neither finished this race after dominating just the 2 of them. Take another look at it here. You see Larson sends it in deep, gets across that white line on the banking and upsets his race car and slides up into Bell. And it's a heavy, heavy impact on the outside wall for Bell. Picks up the front of the race car and climbs up on top of Larson as Chastain threads the needle through the middle. and he gets to burn it down here in Las Vegas, stealing one from the 20 and the 5 cars. And man, I said it again, these two, they've been at each other's throats all season long, and it cost them a win this time in Las Vegas, as Melon Man Ross Chastain gets to celebrate by tossing one on the start-finish line. And you see there, Tyler Reddick backs up his win to the Miscraft Racing Complex with a second place finish. A fantastic run for him. And here's your top 10 as McDonald and Hamlin 10th and 9th. Then if Kyle Busch, a strong run for him in 8th, but he still needs more if he wants to make it to the final 4. William Byron slid on the first lap, finished as 7th. Bubba Wallace rebounds to 6th place. A quiet day for Chase Slate, finishing top 5. Same for Martin Truex Jr. finishing 4th position there. Then Ryan Blaney, your 2-time champion here, finishes 3rd. Then Tyler Reddick, looking to become a first-time champion, finishes 2nd. Same for Ross Chastain, came through today to get himself a win. We'll see if he can make it to the Final 4 and make a name for himself here in the Miscraft Cup Series. Well, you can see the melon smash there on the start-finish line. Ross Chastain gambled and took that car through the middle to win here in Las Vegas. Let's take a look at those point standings here today after today's event. It's Reddick, Chastain, Truex, and Elliott currently in that Final 4. And after the next race in South Main, it is going to be those top 4 that go and race for the championship. Right now, Byron is down by 5 points. You know, he was your Season 6 champion, so he's trying to go and get himself a second one. We saw Kyle Busch there, 20-some points back, and it's going to be a big uphill climb for him if he wants to make it to the Final 4. All right, here are your full results from today's event. Ross Chastain wins, and Tyler Reddick, your previous winner, will finish 2nd. Remember, those guys, you know, with their wins are not automatically locked into the next round, the final race of the season for the championship, so they have to make sure that they keep their points running up well in the last race here as we go to a short track to finish it out. See, finishing 30th and 31st are the two guys that led all but one lap of this race, Bell and Larson. Larson sent it in, drove over his head, and got into Christopher Bell there in the final lap, and took each other out. And the next race will be from the South Main, or the South Side Speedway, all the way up in Maine, and then we'll finish out the season here, this 12-race season at the Darlington Raceway. This is the chase for the Miscraft Cup Series, and until Southside, we'll see you next time.